Hey folks, welcome back here to the VegasDon channel. We are in Key West. We're about to depart Key West here on this Thursday morning. And we're gonna head back up towards Miami. And it's been radar shows a lot of storms out here. A lot of different storms out here. There goes U.S. Navy police. Wow. I guess it makes sense that they have military police. He went flying. Those naval officers. Up to no good, I guess. Alright, we're going to make this left here onto US 1 North and start heading back up towards Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Key West Fire Department vehicle here on our left, and the U.S. Navy vehicle right here right in front of us. Welcome to the VegasDon channel. We do all things Vegas and everything else that we may, everywhere else we may wander. We are leaving Key West and we're going to go up the Florida Keys, the 126-mile stretch of the Florida Keys up to Miami and then Fort Lauderdale. So thank you so much for joining us and being here. We're very grateful that all of you are here. Yeah, this Navy police vehicle in front of us, he was flying. Not exactly sure why, but radar indicated there were a lot of storms heading all over the Florida Keys here. So we will no doubt encounter that on the way up to Miami. Marathon is 45 miles and Miami 154 miles away. Florida Keys College over here on the left. Now going over Cow Key Channel right here. They are very strict about their speed limits around here in the Keys. On the way down here on Tuesday, 2 days ago, we saw a plethora of Monroe County Sheriff's Deputy vehicles. Most of them in the median, but some of them hiding off on the side of the road. There's an old Corvette, white Corvette there on the right. Stingray. This is McDonald Avenue here, named for Old McDonald. Just kidding. Island Grocery there on the right. Dion's Quick Chick. And Keys Federal Credit Union. But you see the ominous looking skies here above. The Navy. Nope, that's not the Navy vehicle. CVS Pharmacy. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram, VegasDon4747. We do a lot of Vegas-related stuff there as well. Receipts and things like that. You can see dry dock over there for some boats. Boat storage. You really don't want to have your, let's see, US 1 Florida Keys, 5 fatalities this year. Drive carefully, it said. Speed limit of 55, and here, very ominous looking. The skies overhead. It's even darker over here off to the left. But this is US 1, which runs all the way from Key West, Florida here, mile marker 0, all the way up the eastern seaboard to the state of Maine, where it eventually encounters the border with Canada. This is Boca Chica Channel that we're going over now. One of the many channels we cross here in the Florida Keys. No drawbridges here. In fact, I think the only drawbridge is only up on Card Sound Road, which is north of Key Largo. So the cruise ships that come down to Key West, they will oftentimes come over from Cancun, or they'll come to Key West before they head to Cancun, or some other stop here in the Western Caribbean. Temperature outside right now, the car reads 87 degrees Fahrenheit. There are 2 Monroe County Sheriff's deputies right there, talking to each other in the median. Probably talking about the boss. As long as they're preoccupied, that's fine. We're good with that. Not that I'm speeding. It's just the worst place to see them is in your rearview mirror. Florida Keys Electric. All right. Tonight, 8P to 6A, US 1 to close. Detour is at Card Sound Road, mile marker 126. That's up there in Key Largo. Got someone doing some road work or something over here on the side. Yeah, the radar indicated that almost the entirety of Florida Keys had some form of shower, either overhead or approaching. But then once up to the mainland, there was really nothing over Miami and Fort Lauderdale, the metro area up there. We'll see if that holds throughout the day. On the way back up here. This is Rockland Key here. Slower traffic, keep right. That is, they need to post more of those signs. There are way too many people out there that do not heed that rule here on the road. Rockland Commerce Center over there on the left. And you can fly down here. They have direct flights from there's another Monroe County Sheriff's deputy, from Atlanta, Orlando, Dallas, Charlotte. Here we go, down to 1 lane. Highway. And this is Rockland Channel that we're going over now. Crossing. We're not seeing the crazy winds that usually precede the heavy rains, some of these storms that pass through. Come up here to Big Coppit Key, C-O-P-P-I-T. Babaloo's on the left there. It's like a little bar restaurant. Mile marker 10 now. Circle K here. We just paid $3.69 a gallon in Key West, and it is $3.34 with credit out here, just 6 miles away. Even though they more than likely truck it from Key West up here, but that's all right. Big Coppit Key Fire Rescue Facility over there on the left. Some more pastel colored buildings here. Seeing a lot of that. I haven't been down here for 16 years, I think it is. And we're just seeing a lot more in the way of these pastel colored buildings. Purple, yellow over there. $3.59 at this Circle K. Or $3.49 cash price. And as is typical when on a one-lane, two-lane road like this, one on each side, you're really at the mercy of the slowest vehicle in the line. See some boats docked right off there. No motor vehicles over there on that shoulder. My sons are very excited in the back seat over there. First pub sub ever from Publix. Publix makes really, really good subs. This is Shark Channel here. Looks like they're rebuilding the pier over there on the side. Apologies for the camera, it wants to focus in on the wipers. Oh. This is Saddle Bunch Keys here. And road work. That's always a pleasant sign. And this is the only route, US 1, in and out of the Keys. So when a hurricane comes or threatens or whatever, and they do evacuations, everyone is stuck on this one road. And then the same for big holiday weekends and things of that nature. Anyone coming down from the mainland has a lot of traffic to have to endure. Saddle Bunch number 5 now going over. Again, apologies for the wipers. They didn't do this before with the whole zoom problem. Zoom. But here in the lower Keys, as they're known, very, mostly untouched. They have very strict rules about development and everything like that here, as well as high rises. Lights on, wipers on, right? Or wipers on, lights on, something like that. Coming down now. There were a bunch of reds and yellows in the radar that we saw right before we left. We're now 10 miles outside of Key West. Saddle Bunch number 3 we're going over. Traveling at about 45 miles an hour right now. I see a huge box truck up at the front. That's probably going to be the lead vehicle here in this pack. And this is how those multi-car collisions, as we go over Saddle Bunch number 2, this is is how those multi-car collisions occur. You get a bunch of cars packed in like this, and one person taps the brakes, and it's all over. Like dominoes, they all fall down. Baby's Coffee and Roasting House over there on the right. Do not pass. No passing zone. Lower Sugarloaf channel here. And there is water out here on both sides, as well as falling from the sky. Florida Scenic Highway. Pass with care next 2,000 feet. Some lightning over here off to the right. Speed limit of 45 up here. It's me, welcome. Thank you for being here. We should be leaving the showers here momentarily, and the focus on the camera will hopefully restore back to normal. Entering key deer habitat here, Lower Sugarloaf Key, next 17 miles. So there is an endangered species in here called the key deer. For a long time, I thought it was a myth. I thought it was just a reason for them to write more speeding tickets. But I think it was the last time I was in here, I actually saw one standing on the side of the road. They're little things. At least the one I saw was. We got Sugarloaf Lodge, Tiki Bar, and Restaurant over here on the left. Waterfront views. Car reads 79 rain-cooled degrees outside right now. Harris Gap channel we're going over now. North Harris channel. And Park Key now entering. All sped up, and now we're all slowing down again. Huh. And they have these signs. I don't see them right now, but they have these signs that say 45 during the day and 35 at night in here in the key deer habitat. Do not pass. It's a blood donation bus going the other way. Park Channel. crossing. And Sugarloaf Key. Oh my goodness. What are you guys doing? Whew. Marker 19 here. Excuse me. Still some lightning all around here. And over here on the left you have the Sugarloaf School, home of the Sharks. And I'm guessing it's probably an all-in-one elementary to high school. Apologies for my son there. He's very excited. I know the algorithm, again, isn't used to me going live at this time of day, so I think that it's probably not showing many folks that we're live right now, but I'm grateful that you guys are here. And it's me. Thank you so much. So we come up here to Bow channel. Bow or Bow, B-O-W. You guys are along for the ride here on the Florida Keys Overseas Highway. Back up to the mainland of Florida. Yeah, they're very strict in here about the speed limit, 45 miles an hour during the day, because of the key deer. Although, I mean, if you hit a deer at 45 or 55, I think both your car and the deer are done for. Although these are smaller deer, but still. We have a Monroe County Sheriff's substation right here. Colson Drive. Boat launch over here on the left. There's a lot of those down here. And again, during the holiday, or during a holiday weekend, you'll get a lot of folks who will come down here towing their boats in order to come down here and launch their boats down here and tool around in the water. In fact, there's a sandbar up here at Isla Mirada that is extremely popular with a lot of folks. A lot of folks will tie off their boats to one another and just kind of party all day out there on the sandbar. But don't ask me where they go to the restroom. Because I think you might be able to deduce the answer. Raffy Road there. So we're out of the heaviest for the moment. Again, welcome to the VegasDon channel. We do all things Vegas. I'll chop up this video later and put it up in separate pieces. But I'm very grateful that you guys are here. We do all things Vegas as well as anywhere else we may wander here on the VegasDon channel. So please like and subscribe. Also, check out my wife's channel, Cinnamon and Jupiter. She does some awesome astrology and spirituality videos. And even if those aren't your thing, if you could still like and subscribe, would really mean a ton to us as we try and help grow her channel, get her established. Josh, welcome. Yes, a very beautiful rainy drive. Absolutely. Welcome, Josh. The Square Grouper Bar and Grill. Cutthroat Drive. Wow. And there's a lot of like shipwrecks and stuff like that off the coast here. A lot of storms over the centuries have wreaked havoc on shipping interests. All up and down, of course, but certainly the Keys has their fair share. And so who knows what buried treasures lay out there just off the coast. Tales to tickle the curiosity of the mind. And also check out my buddy Mike, Vids from Mike, VidsFromMike. Does some sensational sunrise and sunset drone videos in Vegas. Very cool stuff. And also please check out Josh702 here on YouTube. He does some sensational Las Vegas videos, including concerts and more. But I don't want to spoil it too much for you. Please go check it out and throw him a like and subscribe. Really love helping out other folks. We are now 20 miles outside of Key West. This is Dobie Street, D-O-B-I-E. I know, it's me, yeah. I keep looking at that overhang up there in the distance on the horizon there in the sky. I'm like, how long before we hit that overhang? Clear all of this. R&R time on that boat, it says. A lot of the names on these boats are very, very creative. It's been great, Josh. It's been a lot of fun showing Cinnamon around. I don't think she loves Key West as much as I do, but that's okay. I mean, it's Key West, I always said, was kind of a microcosm of what was going to happen throughout America.
I think the rain kind of put a damper on a lot of our plans.
For sure, yeah. I mean, yesterday they said it was going to rain like 15 minutes, and it ended up lasting like 4 hours in the afternoon. We wanted to try and do the Hemingway house. But to try and park in the rain with our boys, both of whom are under the age of 5, that would have been no problem. It's me agrees with you. Yeah, it's become kind of a dive. I mean, I certainly see that. Yeah, it's become kind of a dive.
Okay, if I'm going to be honest, since It's Me agrees with me, yes. I think it's really gritty.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
be nice. I don't think the people there are very nice.
That's true. Yeah, the locals are a different bunch, to be sure.
I mean, some drunk guy tried conning us, saying that I've been here for 13 days and my wife left me 11 days ago, and he looks like he's been here for like 30 years.
Yeah, he looked like a grizzled veteran of the streets. And yeah, he was sitting next to us at the table there at the Sloppy Joe's, and he was trying to give us this sob story about how his wife left him shortly after they got here. But he was very, very dark tan, like leathery type of skin. Someone must have donated some money to him, and that's why he was in the bar drinking. Yeah, the rain definitely put a damper on things. That's why I told Cinnamon, I said, I really don't want to try and plan anything out because of the rain and the weather down here. You just don't know.
Also, like Duval Street is really cramped.
Yes.
And I don't like how house building ourselves down there.
Yeah, it is very claustrophobic on Duval Street, yeah. Yeah, space is at a premium all over the island, for sure. And while they do have some, brand name resorts there, those are super expensive. And so regular Joes like me and Cinnamon, we can't afford to go there. So, we go to the regular places with other folks. And, you don't know what kind of hotels you're going to get. I didn't think the one we were at right now was too bad. We stayed at a DoubleTree.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was nice. And they had some really cool, really friendly servers, and their bartender there, Jeanette, her name was. She was very, very nice. And
I really liked her.
yeah, she was really, really cool. And she made a great virgin pina colada.
Oh, her pina colada was amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, it was virgin. I'm a teetotaler.
Yeah.
But, oh, that was delicious.
Yeah, Cinnamon is a teetotaler, so no alcohol for her.
She waited on us because she had the bar outside, but it was raining outside, and we wanted to be inside with the boys.
Yeah.
And she waited on us and everything, and there was even what was she? Was she like a busser or something?
Yeah, she worked in the kitchen or something. Her name was Jessica.
Yeah, she worked in the kitchen, but she was like serving us food too.
Yeah, she was coming out and serving food.
It was great.
And we weren't expecting that because the bartender at first, Jeanette, she's like, well, I have to stay out here and 10 bar out here. The restaurant doesn't open till 5, and at this time it was like 3 p.m. So we're like, oh. She's like, you can order food here, and I can give it to you in like to-goes, and then you can go sit inside and dine in there. And I'm like, I'd really, But then I said, well, what if I give you my card and I open up a tab because I'd like to drink some beer, and we do it that way. And then she's like, sure. So.
And I had a daily food and beverage credit.
Yes. So that came in handy too. So the DoubleTree here in Key West, on the quiet side of the island, next to the airport.
I do prefer the quiet side
Yeah.
to the noisy side.
Yes, definitely. Josh says he loves the non-alcoholic pina coladas.
Yes.
It was she was really impressed. Yeah, she loved it. Yeah, it's me said I love a good pina colada.
Me too.
Yeah.
And a mojito.
And a
That's
mojito.
another one I love.
Yeah, she loves a virgin mojito too. Pirates Road over here on the right. South Pine Channel here. Sure. No, it's me said sometimes I like a little kick in my pina colada. Absolutely.
No problem with that.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely cramped. Definitely claustrophobic. It's, they don't have wide streets, big wide streets, and that open feel at all. It's and again, like Cinnamon said, it is definitely gritty down there on Duval Street, especially. And it's just, of course, there's really no middle class there on Key West, on the island, because it costs so much money to own a home there. So there's the 45 and 35 speed limit signs, strictly enforced. Yeah, and
would you say Key West is turning into its neighbor?
I think its neighbor is turning into Key West.
Really?
Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, I meant Cuba.
Oh, Cuba,
like
yes.
The lack of the middle class.
Yeah, there's the teachers and stuff, I don't know how they live. They must all rent a house together or something. That's my guess. I don't know how they do it. The bartender, Jeanette, yesterday, she was saying that a regular 2-2 there on the island, she didn't mention square footage, but she said a 2-2 is typically about 800,000 there. So my guess is that's probably around, I'm guessing around a 12 to 1,500 square foot house. So you're looking at like 700 a square foot for that. That's wild. $700 a square foot. And again, if you're new to the channel, welcome in. We do all things Vegas and anywhere else we may wander. Today we're taking a drive from Key West back up to the mainland of Florida, Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So please throw us a like and subscribe. We're very grateful that all of you are here on this Thursday. Still morning here on the East Coast at 11:30 a.m. First State Bank over there on the left. I'm not familiar with that one. Key Deer Boulevard on the left and Chapman Street on the right. Oh, well, this lane merges. So much for that. It's funny when you're down here and you're driving and all of a sudden there's another lane, it becomes a 4-lane road and you have 2 lanes on your side. The people that are supposed to drive, the people that are driving slowly, they then speed up in the right lane because it's like they don't want anyone in front of them. Not on this trip, Josh. Yeah, that's gonna come. Yeah, we thought about that too, but again with the small boys, yeah, it would be very difficult to do the theme parks.
Disney's going to be its own trip.
Yeah, Disney, definitely has to be its own trip, yeah. Disney and Universal up there in Orlando, a 3-hour drive from the South Florida area.
I've never been to Disney World. I've only been to Disneyland, and I've only been to Tokyo Disney.
Yes, Tokyo Disney.
Tokyo Disney, Disney Sea, and Disneyland. But Tokyo Disney's pretty much just like Disney.
There's a boat over there. It's an ad for a gift shop. Okay, I'm like, what did you guys do now? Always next time. Yep, absolutely. Orlando. Yeah. And Orlando, driving in Orlando, goodness, that's a nightmare. They have all those toll roads there. Not to mention the volume of traffic. And in order to get from the airport in Orlando to Disney World, you have to go through like all sorts of different toll roads. And if something's backed up, forget it. It'll take you years. Yeah, we wanted to do the Hemingway House. And I wanted to do Mallory Square, but again, it was raining, so A, there would have been no one out on Mallory Square, and B, the boys would have gotten soaked out there, so yeah. As well as, so would we. We would have gotten soaked out there too. Please check out Cinnamon and Jupiter here on YouTube. She does some awesome astrology and spirituality videos. And even if that's not your thing, if you could still like and subscribe, it would really mean a ton to us as we try and help her get her channel established. And also, please check out Josh 702, Big Pine Key RV over there. Josh 702 does some terrific Vegas videos as well, so please check out his channel and throw him a like and subscribe as well. And my buddy Mike, VidsFromMike, here on YouTube. Does sensational sunrise and sunset drone videos. He doesn't do any live streams or anything, but he does some awesome sunset and sunrise drone videos that are breathtaking. Yes, that's a good point too. It's Me said, Cinnamon, my son wasn't happy when we went to Disney World. He hated the heat and the walking.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. If it's not raining up there, it is muggy. You're up in the center of the state, so there's no ocean breeze or anything like that. And it is just, yeah, it's brutal. I often wonder how the folks did it in the early days of Vegas. Well, same thing here, only here, you have mosquitoes and all sorts of other pests. And the walking too, yeah.
But even in Vegas, when swamp coolers were still in use,
yeah,
they didn't even do that much.
Yeah. Cinnamon was talking about swamp coolers. They don't even do that much.
I don't know how people survived in swamp coolers.
Yeah.
Because my high school gym, the first couple of years I went to high school, had swamp coolers still. And that, it was basically like no air conditioning. I don't understand how that made anything better.
Yeah. No AC. Goodness.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah. Following a pathfinder right now, but if he doesn't know where the path is and he's trying to find it, should I be following it? Sorry. Yeah, let's get around these guys. And see, they're speeding up. I'll never understand. So this is the Bahia Honda channel. This is the deepest water that they had to build the railroad track and now the highways over. You can see the old railroad track still over there on the right, and they built the roadway right on top of it. Hurricane came through here in 1935 and wiped out a lot of the segments of the railroad track. So they decided that they were going to build a roadway over it, since cars were pretty much taking over at that point anyway. But a lot of folks perished during all of the building of the railroad down here. This is Bahia Honda Key, right here. Yeah, so again, you have you have the uber rich, and of course they don't have to work, but then you have a lot of lower income workers who, again, they pile in. We saw yesterday during the drive, there were some homes where we saw tons of cars parked out front. And that's got to be an ongoing issue down there, street parking and things like that, because they're piling too many people into a, one bedroom house or whatever. But what else are people going to do? And that has pretty much spread to the big cities in America for sure. We encountered a lot of Haitians working there in Key West, and they speak Creole or French.
Don knows some Creole.
I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, so I went to school with some Haitian kids back then, and then just in working around various jobs and stuff, just start to try and pick up some of the language. But I don't know very much at all. Mostly, how are you, and thank you. which everyone knows. Merci beaucoup. That's French.
Doesn't sac passer mean what's up?
Yeah.
And then nabule means we be burning. Like that. And when I learned that, I thought of the Sean Paul
Sean
song.
Paul, yeah.
And I'm like, that's why they say that. That's what that means.
So I came to Vegas in 2011. Yeah, I left Florida in 2008, moved to Reno. That was a bad decision. Reno is a very different place if you're not used to it. Yeah. And so I came to Vegas in 2011 for work. They offered to relocate me, and I said, absolutely, let's do it. And it's been home ever since. I met my wife and started a family in Vegas. So they say you can leave Vegas, but Vegas never leaves you. Well, I think I tend to agree with that. And it's funny too. I spoke to some people down here at the restaurants and the hotel and stuff, and you know, people's eyes glaze over. You know, if you when they ask you, oh, so where are you from? And you tell them, you know, I'm from like Iowa or, you know, Minnesota or something. They're like, oh, yeah, gosh, must get cold there or something. But you tell them Vegas, and they're like, everyone has a story. Oh man, I went to Vegas. The Bellagio was incredible. I lost $50 there. I'm like, well, this is a 7-mile bridge, guys, starting now. 7 miles over the water. Kind of feel like you're on a boat. I'm on a boat. Yeah, right, it's me. Yeah, that people, you tell people you're from Vegas and everyone has a story to share. And usually it's, you know, man, they took all my money from me. See the condition of the old bridge over there. It's just, again, rotting away into the sea. You have the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of whatever you wish, over on the left side, and the Atlantic over here. Yes, exactly, Josh. Yep, 7 miles. 7 miles over water.
It's not candy.
Yeah, the server at the server and the bartender there at the hotel last night, they weren't as how should we say, safely for you to relaxed as the staff at Sloppy Joe's was.
They were very professional.
Very professional, yeah. Hurricane experience. So I was here for Andrew. That was in '92, and but that was a very small, compact storm. They didn't know exactly where it was going to come in and hit, and then it eventually hit south of downtown Miami in an area known as like Homestead and Florida City, and demolished a lot there in South Miami. And so I went through that, and then there were some other that weren't as strong as Andrew. They were mostly just like rain events. And so back in '04, of course, the state had 4 hurricanes that came through. And we were like, is this ever going to end? But they all went in different directions and stuff. Jeannie came through. That was a mess. But it was a mess mostly because of all the debris on the roadways afterwards. And almost always, when you go through a hurricane, the power almost always goes out. And so you know, again, you're living here after a hurricane Shortly after a hurricane, it's actually kind of nice because all the moisture goes away with the hurricane, but then the mugginess starts to set back in. So if you have no power, you have no AC, of course, and that's yikes. And then there was Wilma back in 2005 that hit, and that was a mess too. Again, it wasn't so much the wind; it was just the rain, and then I mean there was some wind, and it knocked trees down and things like that, knocked the power out. I think we were without for 3 days at that time. Oh, Pontchartrain, yes. I want to take that bridge. Yeah, I've never been to Louisiana, so that is definitely on the list. That would be cool to do. Yeah, over Pontchartrain there. This is the apex here, high enough to allow most boat. 44. We're now 4 miles in to the 7-mile bridge. 20 miles. Wow. That's cool, though. Growing up down here, you know, it's the water, being around the water and all that. I miss it. I miss the water. I miss, you know, being able to go out on a boat. Just go out and go fishing, or even just go exploring up and down many of the canals there in South Florida. So yeah, after Wilma, I think that was it, and then I'd left in 08. So Wilma was in 05, but we were actually there for Karina. Karina actually hit South Florida before it hit Katrina, I should say. Katrina hit South Florida before it hit New Orleans, but it intensified in the Gulf of Mexico at that time, and then was super strong when it hit New Orleans, of course, and we all remember Katrina. But it actually hit South Florida at first, and it was, the winds weren't terrible, but it's you know, people try to make light of it, and it's, you know, a hurricane party because there's nothing else to do, right? No one's at work. You know, the only people out there are your emergency responders and stuff like that. And even then, they tell you, you know, after a certain time, the emergency responders will no longer respond until after the storm because it's too dangerous for them. You know, down power lines and things like that. And so if you're at home and something goes wrong, try and call 911 and no one comes. They'll tell you, we'll get to you when we can. But yeah, a lot of people just make it an excuse to sit around and drink. Maybe I might very well be one of those people. But you stay glued to the TV, right? Because you're staring at the minute-to-the-minute machinations of each swipe of the radar to see exactly, oh, it's gonna move this way. Oh, it's moving away from us. No. You're just sitting there staring at the same image over and over again, and yeah. It was definitely crazy, yeah. Yeah, Katrina was horrible. Remember all those people in the Superdome? That was awful. I remember thinking, what country am I living in? Because they weren't taking care of anyone. Like, this ain't right. This is America? And as we come off the 7-mile bridge here, 7 miles later and into the town of Marathon, everyone slows down. Slow trolley. Pigeon Key Historic District. You see the buoy there for Marathon. Welcome to Marathon. Knight's Key. Purple Heart City, it says there. Yeah, 7-mile bridge. It's really cool. I love it. End road work. Do you see that? End road work. Oh, good. Yay, no more road work. 100 feet away. Road work ahead. goodness. Like, why even bother putting up the end roadwork sign? Bikes, share the road. 7 Mile Grill over there on the left. $70 to go fishing for a half day at one of the charters here on Marathon, it said. That's per person, of course. End roadwork, are you sure? So you have a lot of little mom and pop shops and things of that nature in some of these little towns. Just like in Nevada with the, like Beatty and Tonopah and stuff on the way up to Reno. But the marine industry, massive part of the economy here in all over Florida. Later this month, oh no. It's already that time of year again, wow. F1 construction. Yeah, it's me, I totally understand. Yeah. There's some bridges that are downright scary. I know the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in Tampa. I know people that won't drive over it at all. Because you just kind of go straight up, and it's like at a weird angle or something. Some people are just like, I'm not going over that bridge. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge, yeah. (33rd Street here, Fisherman's Community Hospital, Monroe County Health Department, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority. Overseas Liquors over there on the left. Florida Keys Steak and Lobster House. It's actually pretty cool looking. It's got portholes, circular windows on the front of it there to make it look like it's maritime. City of Marathon Community Park. $3.15 a gallon over there at the speed or racetrack gas station. Barracuda Grill. Barracuda. Home Depot, you definitely need that here. But the problem is when the storms come, the news media scare the you-know-what out of everyone. And I mentioned this on the drive down here too. There's... the media just goes nuts. And I have long surmised, of course, there is a connection between, because the news media, when they do the the weather reports and stuff like that, and they say, oh, there's a storm off the coast of Africa, it's still 2 weeks away from potentially hitting Florida, but this is something we're going to need to keep an eye on. Well, of course people are going to be like, oh, I need to tune in, and what does that do? That drives ratings, all right? And then when the storm gets closer, they're like, oh, now's the time to go out and get your emergency supplies and stock up on your, your non-perishable goods and all this and blah, blah, blah. And immediately, then they're like, okay, yeah, and we're going to cut to a break. We'll be right back. And then as soon as they do that, boom, there's an ad for Publix, the local grocery store here. And then after Publix, boom, there's an ad for Home Depot, where you're going to go get all your supplies to put up over your windows and doors and all that to make sure that your house doesn't blow away. Sandbags, exactly, yes, that too. So these companies, Publix and Home Depot especially, they're paying, for commercials on these channels that are then saying, oh, it's gonna be bad, guys. Florida East Coast Railway. Old train car over there. You gotta do something that stands out. Exactly. Yes, Josh. It's like COVID all over. Every time a storm comes. And you see the people at the stores and they're going nuts. They're fighting over the TP and the waters and everything else. It's wild. KFC and Taco Bell in one building right there. That's because they're owned by the same company. Yum Brands. Vaca Key. Vaca, of course, is cow in Spanish. And then there's a separate key down here called Cow Key. Valero over there, gas station, $3.05 a gallon. Siesta Motel, that is Bates Motel looking kind of place there. And there is Marathon International Airport over there on the left. Looks like it's undergoing some construction there. But no major airlines fly in here. It's all general aviation, which means essentially if you're rich enough to have a plane. And they have hangars there, which you're probably going to want to park your plane inside if a storm approaches. Seaward landing there. Again, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate all of you being here on this Thursday afternoon driving up the Florida Keys. We do all things Vegas, as well as anywhere else we may wander. Wherever we may roam. Oceanfront property for sale there, here at mile marker 52. Arctic Temp AC Company. Key West Adventures. You're not in Key West anymore. Economy Rent-A-Car there. Audi in front of me is putting out white smoke out the tailpipe. That's not a good sign. Might be oil, oil and water. And they don't have emissions in the state of Florida, so that's a plus. Being someone that comes from a place that is where that's required, of course. No more rain, huh? Okay. Of course it waited until we were gone. And this is Vaca Cut that we're going over right now. Cut, channel, same thing. That's awesome. That's good news. Josh says the temperature's cooling a little.
Oh, nice.
In Vegas.
Very good.
Yeah, Cinnamon's growing her Coral Lagoon Boathouse Marina over here on the right. Cinnamon is growing some pumpkins, hopefully.
Hopefully they're alive by the time we get back.
Yes.
With all the rain and the cooler temps, I think they'll be okay.
There may be a chance, yeah.
Yeah. So that's good news.
Yeah. $3.15 a gallon here at the Circle K, and next door at the Mobile gas station. I can't tell you. This is Sandowski Causeway. CSYW. $2.99. Cheaper at the Mobile. 70s and 60s there. Wow. Terrific. Hampton Inn over here on the right. mile marker 54, so we're now 50 miles outside of Key West. At noon Eastern on this Thursday afternoon. 9 a.m. on the West Coast. 3:09 there at Chevron. Please check out Cinnamon and Jupiter here on YouTube. My wife's channel. She does some awesome astrology and spirituality videos. Really appreciate you guys checking that out. As well as Josh702. A pumpkin patch. By the time we come back, he said, let's hope.
We'll see.
That would be cool. In time for October.
Hopefully in time for Halloween.
Yes. Cinnamon's already lining up her pumpkin spice stops.
Well, it is pumpkin spice season. And since it is my birthday week, on my birthday, I do get a free Starbucks drink. So, you know I'll be asking you to drive me over there.
Of
for
course.
my free PSF.
Yes. PSF. Pumpkin spice frappuccino. Also check out Vids from Mike, VidsFromMike. It's rolling out already, Josh said, the pumpkin spice stuff.
Yeah.
These are persistent rains. The radar looked like they were just going to be one and done, pass overhead. And again, the same thing we went through yesterday. Where it looked like initially it was going to be birthday week. This week, it's me said?
Yes.
This week. Yes, it is. Wanted to try and go on a little vacation with her for her birthday.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have heard me during the live streams down on Fremont. I've mentioned this year at work they've been talking about reductions in staff and layoffs and things like that. So we were kind of postponed it. We've been postponing the trip all year because of that. And then finally, the beginning of August, I'm like, you know what? Let's just go. And if I get the bad news while we're on vacation, that's gonna suck. But get fired when you're on, or laid off when you're on vacation. It's me said, yay, happy birthday weekend, or happy birthday week.
Thank you, it's me. Thank you, Josh. It's a very special birthday.
It is a very special birthday for her. Banana Boulevard there on the right. Banana Boulevard. Also tonight it kicks off the NFL season for any NFL fans. Cowboys at Eagles tonight at 8:30 Eastern. That's one thing I don't miss about the East Coast. I like the sports day, being a sports nerd as I am. I like that the sports day kicks off at like usually 4-ish in Vegas. We live here on the East Coast, and of course 50% of the country lives east of the Mississippi River. I know, right, Josh? Better have some good bananas. Yeah, me too, it's me. 8:30 p.m. start. So yeah, they do it during prime time, of course, to try and juice up the ratings for that particular night on that network. In this case, NBC, I believe, is the one carrying the game. So then they can go to the to advertisers and say, well, look, we got X number of people on this date to tune in, but they don't tell them that that was a night of football, because America loves football, American football, that is. No offense to our international friends who, for whom football refers to soccer. Yes. Yeah, Josh, it's finally back. But that's good because hopefully the crowds will start returning to Vegas. I know when I go down there on Saturdays to do the live stream and I walk through like the D and stuff and the Circa, it's packed in there at the bars for college, all the college stuff, and I know it's got to be packed for NFL. That's the one downfall about Vegas is that the football games begin at 10 on Sundays instead of 1 on the East Coast, but that's okay. Because you know when you live here on the East Coast and you have to get up to go to work at say 7 a.m. or whatever, you know you're going to go to bed at 10:30, 11, whatever, you know, whatever's good for you. And a lot of times you can't watch the end of the game. In fact, a lot of people have the Dolphin Research Center over there on the left with a huge dolphin out front. In fact, a lot of people they do the ratings for Monday Night Football both before and after halftime because they know at halftime a lot of people turn off the TV to go to bed. Yes, absolutely, Josh. And we've seen, I mean, they've started to roll out some specials and stuff, but I haven't seen a whole lot in the way of them lowering the price of hotel rooms. And again, with the fall approaching now, I think they're probably going to try and jack it up again even more. Now that the temperatures are going to cool and people are not afraid to come to Vegas because of the heat. And the summer concert series down on Fremont Street, that comes to a close next month with I think it's Ziggy Marley they have there. Jeffrey, welcome. Scotland in the house. Welcome, Jeffrey. Absolutely, Josh. Yep. We'll see how the crowds turn up for F1 because we saw, of course, the first year was much better than the second year in terms of the volume of people. People just did not show up last year for it. And the fact that they hold it, you know, it starts at what, 10 p.m. Pacific? But they're doing it for the folks in the Middle East. All those rich sultans and all those guys. Sultans and sheiks and everyone else. That are heavily invested in F1. Dolphin facility over here off to the right. Hawks Cay. We have all these little islands out here. All over the place along the Florida Keys. This is Tom's Harbor Cut that we're going over now. A lot of people come out here and they will fish for their dinner. They come out here and spend the afternoon trying to catch their dinner. This is Conch Key here. Oh, I didn't hear that. Wow, Josh. Wow. Yeah, and Stage Door still hasn't opened up yet either. I don't know what's going on there. Stage Door Casino right off the Vegas Strip. And what's the name of it? Batista's Hole in the Wall. The owner insists that they're going to open back up. but they aren't able to say when. Yeah, still closed. That's a shame. So many people, I mean, especially locals too, love that place. In a lot of ways, Key West reminded me of the Strip. Anywhere you go, anywhere where there's stuff that people want to see, you got to pay to park everywhere. Just like on the Strip. They didn't even have a Treasure Island type of place with free parking, for folks. Everything. They charged you everywhere. And when we went to Sloppy Joe's, we paid, it was $7 an hour to park in that parking garage we went to. And it had no elevator, so that was fun. We got to roll the kids down, up and down the ramp, the car ramp in the stroller. Then the cost of everything is, of course, through the roof. Try and buy yourself an F-150 or a Chevy Silverado or something nowadays. It's like $80,000. It's crazy. Joining, welcome in. We do all things Vegas and anywhere else we may go. Right now we're stuck behind a big truck here in the Florida Keys, headed back up towards Miami and Fort Lauderdale. They did, they've had it in various types of iterations. Miami used to have a Grand Prix of its own back in like the 80s, and then they went away or whatever for some reason. They closed all the downtown streets and all that, just like they did in Vegas. And I thought I'm not sure if they did one in Orlando, but they definitely had one in Miami. And it's whatever the Middle East folks want, right? All those guys with all that money from having sold gasoline. Junior, welcome. Good day, my friend. Thank you for being here. We're here on the Florida Keys. Some more pastel-colored homes on either side of the roadway there. No, can't do that. Let's see if I can get around this guy. Long Key State Park in 1 mile. And so they have a long key, and then they have a key largo. But largo in Spanish means long. But they're separate keys, so. Some things just sound better in Spanish. They have a Boca Chica down here. Literal translation, girl's mouth. But it sounds better in Spanish, I guess. I don't think so, Josh. Yeah, I think they pulled out because of money. Yeah. But then they're even like what we're seeing now in Vegas. They're asking crazy amounts of money from people. You know, you're not going to get the casual fan for sure. You're going to have to, you'd have to go up with a real hardcore fan that watches every race and stuff like that. I mean, look at what's going on with NASCAR. 20 years ago, NASCAR was up there on par with like close to the NFL in terms of popularity. People love their drivers, people love, you know, and all that. And now NASCAR just in the dump. And they suffered from the same thing. They charged people too much money. They started charging people crazy amounts of money. My father loved NASCAR before he passed, and he would save money every year just to go to one race at Daytona here in Florida. And you know, he didn't make a whole lot of money, so that was his one vacation every year, that weekend at Daytona. And there's a lot of people in that boat that do that. Oh good, this truck is turning. A post office over here on the right. Marine and commercial fuels. I guess they bring the fuel to you and your boat. City of Layton, now Layton. Monroe County Sheriff heading the other way there. Yeah, I went with him 1 year to go to Daytona, and the ticket was like $180. Isla Mirada, 12 miles. Tavernier, 21 miles. Here in the middle to upper Keys now. Hurricane evacuation routes. Do not pass. All right. And that was back when I went with him. It was like 04, I think, and it was $180 back then. So yeah, crazy amounts of money. They just get so greedy. And you know, same with the casinos and the hotels, of course, in Vegas. They're all just getting greedy. But the casinos really hurt themselves when they decided to sell the land and the buildings to someone else, which is what they've almost all done down on the Strip. So now they not only have to feed themselves, they have to feed whoever they're paying rent to. So they have two mouths to feed. So that's a problem for them, you know. They've created another bill for themselves every month. Yeah, Josh, it's crazy. Yeah, they just... And you would think they would make more, but, you know, I've heard several other channels that have said that, you know, they'd rather have one person that's going to come spend $50,000 on their Vegas vacation instead of 20 people who are going to come spend $1,000 on their Vegas vacation. But how many of those whales are there out there? How many people can afford a trip like that, right? Absolutely, Josh, yeah. I mean, ultimately, it would come down to, like, if you or I couldn't make our rent payment, right? The owner of the building would kick us out for not paying the rent. That's ultimately what would happen with the casinos. But we all know there are other things that go on at those casinos. So, and when I'm talking about, stuff that went on in the movie Casino, for instance, and all that, and other illicit activities. So, MGM and Caesars probably would not go belly up because of that. But who knows? Looks like some coral rock over here on the right. Back in the day, way back in the day, Isla Morada, Village of Islands right here. Channel number 2. Way back in the day, they used coral rock and chop it up, and they would build homes out of it. Can't do that anymore. Lower Matacumbe Key. Speed limit of 50 in here. Anne's Beach. Anne owns it. Welcome in if you're brand new. Silently watching, thank you for being here. Please hit that like and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us on our drive back up to the Florida mainland. Habanos Oceanfront Dining Restaurant, Calusa Cove, Iroquois Drive, overnight trailer parking and camping prohibited. We're now 70 miles outside of Key West. This rain, I tell you, just keeps coming down. $3.74 a gallon at the Mobile over there on the left. Still beautiful with the water out there. You got homes over here with some big bay windows in them to stare out at the water. That's cool. That's a good question. It's me. So we're actually flying out the day that on her birthday. So I'm going to do my best. I will do my very best. Eating somewhere special on your birthday.
Aww.
Yeah. I will do my very best.
Our flight isn't until later.
Yeah, our flight's not until like 8:30 p.m.
Stone crab?
My God. She loves her stone crab. Yeah, so if you can imagine a storm blowing through here, all these power poles, power lines, all getting knocked over. In fact, the wood ones, I'm still not certain why they haven't converted those to something a little more durable, like the big cement ones over here on the left. Starbucks trip.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
That's on the itinerary for the day.
Yes. Pop up at different Starbucks. Pop up at different Starbucks and get a pumpkin spice frap everywhere. Sea Lane over here on the right, Matacumbe Resort. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, we're gonna go somewhere for her birthday for sure. Columbus Drive.
I'm gonna wear one of my new dresses from Movie Mama.
Ah, that's right. She went and there was a place she found in Vegas, here in Fort Lauderdale, that has these dresses that she really, really liked.
Well, they sell swimwear, and the designer was born in Cuba, but she was raised in Miami. And I guess it's technically a designer brand, but they're not like thousands of dollars, you know. But they're not like Dolce and Gabbana or anything. But I had the budget for a couple of things, and they have some pretty things that I want to wear that I saved up and bought the other day. So I'm excited.
Good. Very good. And this is Lignum Vitae channel here. Lignum Vitae. Lignumvitae. Josh, that sounds very nice.
Oh.
Indian Key, Irving Easter Bridge. Here at mile marker 78. Yes, exactly, it's me. Indian Key Phil, it says here. Pass with care. Our youngest sounds like he's sleepy. The famous question? Which one's the famous one? Go for it, brother. Oh, are we there yet? Yes. Yes. Nope, not yet. Not much further now, my little smurflings. Bud and Mary's Marina up here on the other side of this bridge. And this is Tea Table here. Yeah, their whole routine has been uprooted and disrupted this week. Nice looking home there on the left. Got a little tiki bar out next to the dock. And as we come up to upper Matacumbe Key here, Lazy Days oceanfront dining on the right. Amara K Resorts here on the right. Breezy Palms Resort. Sands of Isla Mirada Hotel and Resort. Again, I think they're playing a little fast and loose with the resort, the use of the word resort. No passing in the center lane, strictly enforced. Try and keep the camera focused there. Nope. Midway Cafe and Coffee Bar. There on the right. Yes, that's a great question, Josh. Yes, it's awesome. It is awesome. It is definitely big. Trying to imagine it being on the strip there in front of the Mirage, it's going to take up a lot of space down there, as you can tell from what they're already building. But yeah, we went there when we were here 2 years ago, and walked around the Hard Rock there. And it's funny, so the Seminole Indian tribe, they own the Hard Rock brand now. So way back, I think it was 2005, they opened up the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino on their land, the Seminole Indian Reservation here in Hollywood, Florida. And they also opened up what was called Seminole Paradise, which was just a collection of, it was like Fremont, pretty much, just bars and restaurants and little shops and nightclubs and stuff like that. And it was very, very popular. Everyone loved going to the Hard Rock. There was one bar there in particular, Murphy's Law, it was called. Awesome place. And then after I left, I think it was 2015 or something like that, the Seminole Indians decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and just shut the whole thing down. They demolished all of the Seminole Paradise and then built the Guitar on top of that, where the Seminole Paradise used to be. So none of that stuff exists anymore, those clubs and restaurants, etc. Which was sad for the local folks down here, because a lot of folks really loved going down there. Plus it was always free to park, and they had the parking garage and stuff there, so you never had to go and fight to try and find a parking spot and how much it was and all that. Isla Mirada Beer Company there on the right. Beer garden and craft cocktails. Sea Dragon exotic island decor there on the right. But at least they didn't, well, they did destroy the volcano in order to build the Guitar there. But they didn't destroy a whole bunch of nightclubs and bars that people loved. Just the volcano. In order to build the one in Vegas. U.S. Post Office, Isla Mirada, here on the right. Keys Dermatology, Ciao Bella, Salon and Day Spa. Yeah, the volcano was awesome. The volcano was, man, that was something of a decision that I don't think I'll ever understand, but I guess it's good that they kept the Mirage itself. So back in that era, the 05, they had the Hard Rock Hotel in addition to the Seminole Paradise. So Publix over here on the left, her local grocery store. They had a hotel already, so a lot of folks would come down and stay at the hotel and go party or whatever at Seminole Paradise. So when they did that, they still kept the hotel, and the hotel has a casino attached to it down here. But now they have the Guitar, so they really have two hotels. The original one, which is it's like looks like almost like a cross. It's four different wings on it or whatever, all white. And between that, they have the casino and then the Guitar-shaped hotel. But the Guitar-shaped hotel has slot machines and stuff in it too. Windley Key coming into now. begin right turn lane. If you're just joining, welcome in. We do all things Vegas as well as anywhere else we may wander. Three Waters Resort Marina. Right now we're in the upper Florida Keys. Theater of the Sea over here on the right. Dolphin and Sea Lion facility. Right there. You see the big coral rock and the waterfall there. Marine Mammal Park, Islamorada, Florida. Ocean View. NFL has been... Really? Why? NFL has been to Ocean View. Windley Key Fossil Reef Geological State Park. 1 mile. Yes, me too, Josh. Me too. And that was the thing about Sloppy Joe's. They had different bands and stuff going in there, so that, you know, that was nice that they're supporting the local bands and all that. That's good to see. Windley Key up there on the left. But yeah, I agree. I hope they hire from within. I mean, not hire from within the local community and don't bring in their own people, or just decide to go without. So I was incorrect earlier. I forgot about this drawbridge right here. There is a drawbridge right here along the Overseas Highway. I haven't. It's me. How is it? Plantation Key now. Isla Marina Elite Boat Rentals. The way station is open for all of the trucks. Make sure they're under that 80,000 pound limit. Does. Oh. Nice. Okay, we'll have to check it out. Takes place in the Keys.
Okay.
That's cool. Bloodlines, the show that It's Me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Trying to get the camera to focus on the road and not on the wipers. Treasure Village Montessori. Rain Barrel Art and Shops. And there's a giant lobster or shrimp out front there. And there's a cop hiding on the right. Well, the right side coming the other way. On our left. The other right. Stilt homes there on the right that look like they're newly constructed. They have the first floor are stilts, support columns. So you can park your car underneath your house, and then you have to climb the stairs, of course. But the good thing is, when a storm comes and the storm surge comes and it floods, hopefully the only thing that gets flooded is your car and not your home. Oh, no problem. No, I like to hear about new stuff like that. Thank you, it's me. Thank you. Twisted shrimp, local seafood and more here on the right. 35 mile an hour. Traffic shift ahead. Monroe County Public Works. VIP laundry, okay. Oh wow, I'm sorry, Josh. Sorry about that, buddy. I pay for the premium because I got so tired of the ads. And I remember them saying that the CEO of YouTube was saying, yeah, we're gonna try to push people onto paying for premium by putting a bunch of ads in, which I thought was horrible. But I guess they have a business to run too, or so, I don't know. But yeah, I can't stand the ads myself. I'm sorry, brother. Here's that traffic shift. Plantation Key Government Center over here on the left. County Courthouse, 16th Judicial Court, Sheriff, Tax Collector, Property Appraiser, all of them. All up in there. Thompsonville Road, Schooner Bay Road on either side of the road. As we hit mile marker 89, now 85 miles outside of Key West. Oh, that's interesting, huh? Yeah, I pay for the annual. I think it's 140 for the year because I wanted the best price possible, and that's what they gave me. So yeah, it's like 10 more, like what, 12 bucks a month? Yeah, roughly 12 bucks a month, something like that. But with the boys especially, they watch a lot of children's program. I don't subscribe to cable at all. And now with football season coming up, I really have a decision to make this weekend. But yeah, we don't subscribe to cable at all. And so YouTube's pretty much all we watch. YouTube and Netflix. Plantation Key School over here on the left. Again, it's probably an all-in-one type of thing. Feel for the teachers. I don't know how they can afford to live down here. There's another sheriff's deputy lurking right there on the left side, waiting to catch some speeders. Yeah, on the way down, they were very, very active and visible, the sheriff's department. They love making that money. $3.19 a gallon at the 7-Eleven over there. Old Tavernier Restaurant over there on the little right. Imagine growing up down here and never having experienced driving on an interstate. What that must be like. What that must be like when you finally get up, you know, you've been driving for 10, 15 years living down here, and then you get up on a highway for the first time.
Wait, what about police?
Yeah, Josh, I mean, it definitely sucks, you know, having to pay for it, but the ads, man, the ads are just, and Cinnamon doesn't pay for it on her phone, so, like, down here right now, the boys, one of the things that calms them down when we're out to eat and stuff is putting on their favorite YouTube shows. Isla Mirada, catch you later, it says there. So the boys will sit there and you can tell when there's an ad on because they'll start to scream just like that. They'll start to scream and be like,
They're not watching YouTube now, though.
Right, no, they're not watching it right now.
The baby just wants to take a nap.
Yeah, he's tired. Yeah. But yeah, like when we try to go out and eat or whatever, yeah, they, our oldest is not too bad, but the youngest, he likes to be entertained. Which we never wanted to do, you know, we didn't want them addicted to screens for sure. But we do a lot of educational programming and stuff that's on YouTube. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, so she gets the ads on there and skip ad. It was tolerable back when you could skip it in 5 seconds, right? But now, yeah, God, I didn't realize it was that bad. 30 seconds unskippable. Yikes.
I'm not turning it on.
Florida Keys Wild Bird Rehab Center over here on the left. Driftwood Trailer Park there on the right. They do have quite a few trailer parks down here. And again, when the storms blow through, yeah, I didn't mind it either, yeah, back then. Matt, welcome! It is, yeah. Yeah, definitely from the way you described it. Yeah, that's brutal. 306 a gallon here at the Circle K in the median, in between the two directions of traffic. Burton Drive. And we didn't get to take a picture in front of the southernmost point buoy down there, but that's okay. It would have been hard trying to stand in line with the boys. They have that long line there waiting. I saw a moment yesterday when we were driving, and there were only like a few people standing in front of it because it was raining. And I was like, ooh, should we try it? But trying to peel the boys out of their seats and get a picture over there, that would have been pretty problematic.
And then putting them back in the
That's
car
the hard
would have
part.
been the challenge, because they would have felt like they were gypped.
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought we were getting out of the car.
Yes.
What do you mean we have to go back in?
Yeah, they would have been very upset. Peace Avenue and Dove Avenue up ahead here. Welcome in if you're just joining us. We do all things Vegas as well as anywhere else we may want wander. And right now we're in the upper Florida Keys, approaching Key Largo. Sailing away to Key Largo. 50-ish miles south of Miami. Sunset hammock over there on the left. And that Taurus on the right there, that looks like a sheriff's deputy. Yeah, it's me. That's the most peaceful way for us to enjoy it, right? That's by making sure that they're okay. and you know, like she said, trying to put them back in their seat after immediately removing them. Oh, that's really rough. Because they feel like, oh man, I thought I was getting out of here. Kentucky Welding over there on the left. Lobster Lane. Snapper Lane. Heron Road. Guys, please check out Josh 7 in Jupiter. My beautiful wife's channel, Cinnamon and Jupiter. Silver Shores here on the right. And my good buddy Mike, Vids from Mike, VidsFromMike. I need to do an interview or something with Mike, so that way you guys can meet him and get to see him. Okay, there's a deputy in the median right there.
Get with the trends. Everyone's doing vid interviews now.
Right? Another deputy heading the other way there. VegasDon interviews, yeah. I wanted, the one person I thought I wanted to do an interview was with the director down there on Fremont Street. I'm sure he has some wonderful stories to tell, but as I understand it, he has to get clearance from a whole bunch of layers above him in order to do that, because he'd be acting in an official capacity. So if I can, I will, but it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good, mate. One of the channels we watch is a British guy, and he always says, "It's not looking good, mate." Yeah, I would love to hear some of those stories that he has, like last week, there when that guy jumped up on the stage when Bling was playing. That was crazy. All the times I've been down there with all the super inebriated folks down there. This person is hitchhiking, it looks like, or something. Vicky Bakery there on the left. Yeah, so he jumped up on the stage and he cleared the security gate, and he cleared it with ease. Like, we were all of us in the crowd, we're all looking around at each other like, is he supposed to be up there? And then he, $2.99 a gallon at Tom Thumb right there. As we come into Key Largo. And then he jumped up on the stage and started dancing. And then we realized, okay, yeah, this joker is... And people started booing him. People in the crowd started booing him. But he's like, oh, come on. And he's like trying to raise his hands and stuff like, come on, let's dance and sing together and stuff. Cocoa Plum Road there. And the two sound engineers on the side of the stage, they got up there, and the band, at first the band is all looking at each other, and I videoed this. I mean, this was on my my Bling live stream last week, and the band, yeah, they're all like looking at each other and stuff, and then they realized, okay, yeah, this is some joker. And they all grabbed their instruments and started moving backstage. Yes, it was Bling. Yeah. And so the sound engineers, while Bling carried their instruments backstage with them, and they disappeared back behind the stage, the sound engineers are trying to like usher the guy off. They're not trying to touch him, of course, but they're trying to usher the guy off the stage. So he jumps off the stage, clears the security gate again, and then just starts taking off running. And I thought about trying to keep up. No. Not when carrying a gimbal and all that, no. To see what happened. But someone else, I think it was on TikTok, captured a video of the security down there. They tackled him. Like a full-on NFL type tackle. It was pretty cool to see. And then the director came around and was talking to the band and stuff, and I told him, I said, great job. He's always on it. He is very proactive. the director down there on Fremont Street. Very proactive. I mean, Fremont definitely has its gritty feel to it, but that security force down there, they do a good job. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching, yeah. I think it was in the first, like, 20 or 30 minutes of the show that Yo-Yo jumped up on the stage. African Queen over here off to the right. I'm guessing that's a boat or a charter fishing boat or something. $3.01 a gallon there. I have a post office here. Holiday RVs Inc. Steve, welcome. Me too, Steve. Well, I am often astonished at that because there's so many drunk people there doing really, really dumb things. And, you know, you'll get the people up there that start, you know, pulling on the security gate and stuff, trying to yank it. And security, they'll often come around and tell the people that are standing right up on the gate that they have to have their beer in a plastic cup. Because, of course, they go to... Michael, welcome! Thanks for being here. They'll have their beer in a beer can from ABC or something. And they'll tell them, oh, you got to pour it out into a plastic cup. And then people get mad because they tell them that. And they're like, oh, man, come on. So, Michael, I was just saying about you, I need to, like, do an interview with you or something so that folks can see you and get to know you, the man behind the videos. We'll talk about that offline. The man behind Vids from Mike. Upper Crust Pizza over there. All Keys Boat Lifts. Hobo's Cafe, all right. Michelle Drive. And guys, please check out Vids from Mike, VidsFromMike. I'll take these videos and chop them up later so they'll be up on YouTube in smaller portions. Bite-sized portions later on. Keys Supply of Key Largo. We just exited the rain, actually, Mike. It was raining a good portion of the way. Oh, there's another sheriff's deputy in the median. John Pennekamp, Coral Reef State Park. I believe that's the only underwater park in America. If it's not America, it's in Florida. It's the only one in Florida, but it's entirely underwater. And people go diving out there and stuff. Oh, nice, Michael, right on. Very cool. Cabrera Street, Largo Cargo. They're on the right. I know Mike's definitely looking forward to the Cowboys and Eagles tonight. I'm actually somewhat joking. He's Mike's a Vikings fan. Marvin Adams Waterway. Dude has a waterway named after him. Barracuda Boulevard. Nice. Where are we headed today, Michael? Key Largo Lodge. Avenue B, I guess they ran out of names. Big Chill over there on the left. Jimmy Johnson's, that's where it is. Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill right here in Key Largo. The former Cowboys and Dolphins coach. Right here in Key Largo. The Big Chill. Okay, Brother Josh, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you hanging out with us. And guys, once more, please like and subscribe to Josh702. Terrific Vegas content.
See you later, Josh.
Week 1, I'll watch anything. I hear you. Yes. Me too. FHP going the other way. Highway Patrol. Home sweet home Vegas. There you go. Right on. Key Largo School here on the right. Middle school, high school, all of them in one. Dolphin Road. Zaika Indian Cuisine. There on the right. And on the way back up to the mainland, you have two options. You can either, up here just north of Key Largo, you can either stay on US 1 or you can go up Card Sound Road. We came down US 1, we're gonna go back up on Card Sound Road, but they merge on either side. That's where the mainland of Florida begins, that stretch of roadway in there. VA outpatient clinic over there they have, huh? Tonight, 8p to 6a, US 1 southbound to close at mile marker 126. Detour, use Card Sound Road. College of the Florida Keys, Upper Keys Center there. Miami via Card Sound Road. I want Card Sound Road, so I'm gonna get over. US 1 is always a mess down that stretch of roadway. But this is Card Sound Road. It's supposed to be a little quieter. I think it's, last time I was down here, it was $1 to use this stretch of road. I don't know what it is now, but we paid for the, we prepaid for the tolls here. Crocodile Lake National Wildlife Refuge. And Key Largo Hammock Botanical State Park. This roadway not used nearly as much as the as US 1. Of course, US 1 is free. And the signal held for us on US 1, so I'm hoping the signal will hold here on Card Sound as well. Usually when they do the hurricane evacuations, they open up both of these roads to folks. Celebrating my beautiful wife's birthday week here. Cinnamon and Jupiter. So, Mike, I hear there was rain in Vegas earlier in the week, and that the temperatures have cooled down a little bit. It's good news. Mike said, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Not quite a canopy of trees overhead here, but speed limit 55. This person is little bit below that. No rain. Right on. Oh, I know, yeah. It's bittersweet. County Road 905 here. Card Sound Road. Valois Boulevard. And we end up making a left up here to go back over towards US 1. Oh, you've been in Dallas? Okay, cool. Again, welcome in. If you're just joining us, we do all things Vegas, except when we wander about. And today we are wandering about the Florida Keys. We're on Card Sound Road here, on our way to Miami. Go around him. Also, please check out Vids from Mike, VIDSFROMMIKE, does some sensational sunrise and sunset drone videos here on YouTube that you don't want to miss. Very cool stuff. And also Cinnamon and Jupiter, my wife's channel. She does astrology and spirituality. Very cool stuff as well. Here on the VegasDon channel, we do all things Vegas. We'll be back on Fremont Street on Saturday the 13th to live stream Sugar, the popular all-female band on Fremont. As well as before that, we'll do our live drive, our live Las Vegas Strip drive. See how the Strip has changed in a matter of 2 weeks, how much growth there has been to the guitar-shaped hotel, which seems to be going up very rapidly. You know, the Hard Rock and the Seminole Indians that own the Hard Rock are probably very eager to hurry up and get some return on their investment for that huge, massive guitar-shaped hotel. Speed limit of 55 in here. Driving this hybrid here. Hybrid RAV4, and this thing is actually not that bad on gas. I think I'm getting like 40 miles to the gallon in this thing. And it was only like $12 to fill it up. It's a little cramped for me though, not very comfy on road trips. The road noise out there isn't terrible though, that's good. Waste Management Transfer Station, the dump. Yeah, so when I looked at the radar before we left Key West, it looked like the entirety of the Florida Keys was under red and yellow cells of rain. But Miami and Fort Lauderdale are clear. We'll see if that holds. Right now it looks like it'll hold. But for how long? driving Card Sound Road here in the Florida Keys.
Why? When?
Again, it's a lot better than trying to take US 1. You can certainly see the traffic here is a lot lighter than it is over on US 1. And the impatience factor, because US 1 doesn't have, it's not a 4-lane road, so it's like this for most of the 20 miles. And so it's you get a lot of impatient drivers, which cause accidents and things like that. Yeah, we really wanted to try and go to the Hemingway house. We also wanted to go to the beach yesterday, but Mother Nature had some other plans for us. And to try and... Our oldest especially likes to grab everything. So, going inside the Hemingway house probably would have not been a good idea. We would probably be going home with a lot of broken stuff that we would have had to pay for from the Hemingway house. The Old Man and the Sea. Yeah, and the beach was pretty much deserted every time we drove by it.
Nope.
Speed limit drops up here. Nice little speed trap they've got. Down to 45. The one thing about hybrids, though, is finding someone to work on them. It's like so many mechanics, you know, you essentially have to go to, like, be retrained with the cars nowadays. The computer and all that. And no one wants to go to the dealer, of course, to get your car worked on.
Shut on. Shut on.
And in some ways, I've actually thought about how nice it would be to own like an old car, like a classic car. Something simple to work on, right? Without all the computerized stuff. Homestead, Miami, next left. I will follow you.
Find parts for those.
It is very hard to find parts, yes. Unless they have like an old crate engine or something. Like not an old crate engine, but like a crate engine that like GM makes. They make the 350 for Corvette and Camaros and stuff. You can buy those. They ship them to you in a crate. So Homestead and Miami are to the left. Ocean Reef Club. So that's a dead end directly in front of us, and that is the Ocean Reef Club. And here we go. These are the tolls. Cars, 2 axles, $2.08. Toll by plate, $3.12. So it's $1 more if you don't have SunPass. But we paid for the tolls in advance, so we should be safe. So it used to be $1. Inflation's caught up to everything. There's a little drawbridge I remember we go over up here somewhere. But very swampy on both sides. And in a lot of places there's water out there on either side of the vegetation. So County Route 905A here in Monroe County. Flooding, soft shoulder.
Oh no! Oh no!
No parking, standing, or anything else. There's some water.
Black hole. Black hole. No.
No problem, too. Okay, so this is no longer a drawbridge. It is now a fixed bridge. Limited sight distance, it says here.
Oh.
Here's Kendall down there, South Miami. Destination right now is we're going to drive through Miami en route to Fort Lauderdale. So we're going to come into the city of Miami up here eventually. Speed limit drops to 35. Wow. Tenders. We build. Oh, that's why, because it's a toll gantry's up here. And again, 208 if you have SunPass, the electronic thing that you put up in your windshield. And then you have a little bar over here, Alabama Jack's. Right there. Doesn't look like much, but I've heard a lot about it. Thanks for visiting the Florida Keys, it says there. For some reason, there's rumble strips here. I'm not sure why. Yeah, Steve, hopefully we don't run into too much traffic here in Miami. But that's wishful thinking a lot of times. This is a very narrow little roadway here. And, whoops, nope. Okay, we'll get behind the truck here. Yep, I see you. And I'll let this F-150 go around me. Nope. He was right on our tail. Scared me, actually. I thought it was a cop. I'm like, well, if I can't pass, then why are the lines dotted? That's better. Of course, there's another one in front of us. Again, when the storms come through, the hurricanes come through, all of this tends to be closed off because they have all sorts of debris from the trees, etc. This guy's got a fishing pole on his moped. Probably looking for dinner. Bears Furniture. They've been here forever in South Florida. And again, welcome in. If you're silently watching, we do all things Vegas as well as anywhere else we may wander. Today we are in the Florida Keys. We've just exited, actually, the Florida Keys, coming into Miami-Dade County, and we'll be driving through the streets of Miami en route to Fort Lauderdale. Also, please check out Cinnamon and Jupiter here on YouTube, my beautiful wife's channel. She does some awesome astrology and spirituality videos. And even if those aren't your thing, if you could still like and subscribe, it would really mean a ton to us as we try and help grow her channel and get it established. Very grateful to all of you. And also, Vids from Mike, VidsFromMike, does sensational sunrise and sunset drone videos that you do not want to miss in Vegas. That F-150 is like almost out of sight up there. He's flying. Are you able to reach and get water? US 1, 8 miles away.
No, it's too far.
Tunnel vision, staring straight ahead. This road is unwaveringly straight here. Marker 10 here on state or county route 905A in Monroe County. I used to come down here with friends all the time. Drive down to the Keys, sometimes all the way to Key West. The problem with driving all the way to Key West is once you get down there, you're too tired to try and drive all the way back. One time we came down here and there was someone had a friend of the family that had a place down here in like Isla Mirada or something. Went to their house and partied. We were never invited back. Yeah, Key West has definitely become a very, I mean, it's always been gritty, but it's kind of even grittier now. I mean, there's just some areas of it that are just downright dirty. Which I could certainly say about Fremont as well. I mean, Fremont, there's some areas that are just downright dirty, right? But it's kind of sad because it was always such a popular spot. Mangled up guardrail over there. Someone ate it over there. Rumble strips. is 1:30 here on the East Coast, 10:30 on the West Coast, 10:30 a.m. These seats aren't very comfortable here in this RAV4. This is not made for long road trips, in my opinion.
It's pretty tight back here.
Yeah, it's tight in the back seat too. I've never been out here to Ocean Reef Club. It's a members only club, but it's here. It dead ends right there into the ocean. It's like a peninsula. And I've never known anyone to go there, but I always wanted to try it. I always hear about it. Ocean Reef Club. Rumble strips ahead. When I keep you awake. Monroe County Shelter via Turnpike in 2 miles. So Florida's Turnpike starts here in Homestead, Florida, which is coming up here very shortly, and it runs across the state, goes through Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and then heads northwest over towards Orlando, and eventually terminates its northern end there at Wildwood, Florida, north of Orlando and Tampa. It has long been called the Sunshine State Parkway, and it is not a cheap option, that's for sure. Definitely expensive to try and take the turnpike between, say, South Florida and Orlando. And here we come back into US 1. Last Chance Saloon over there. And this is Homestead. Chrome Avenue is over here on the left. They have a large detention center out here. Mile marker 127, 127 miles outside of Key West. An ad for Cracker Barrel. That's funny. Now they're putting up ads after all that controversy over their logo changed and all that. Now they're putting up ads. That's funny. Use the publicity. No such thing as bad publicity. Bad publicity is still publicity. Come up here to the light at Palm Drive. This light is almost always red. It's funny, you get out of the Keys down there and always hit this light. Wharf Lounge, cocktails over there. It's at 344th Street. Let me take that. Okay. 866 number. No idea. And again, welcome thank you for being here. We do all things Vegas as well as anywhere else. And on this particular journey, we're heading up into Miami. So you can take US 1 north into downtown Miami. That'll take you probably 4 or 5 years with all of the traffic lights. Or you give the state even more of your money and get on the turnpike. So here we are in the beginning of the Florida Turnpike toll road system. Welcome to Florida's Turnpike, it says, the less stress way. Cadillac dealership over there. Save money with SunPass 888 Toll FLA. Florida law move over for stopped emergency vehicles. I think the truck in front of me saw the sign that says move over, and he did. Bless you. Bless you. So now here in South Miami-Dade County, when Hurricane Andrew came through here again in '92, this whole area was obliterated. Andrew was a small but extremely powerful little storm. Demolished homes, some businesses. And it started an exodus actually at the time from southern Miami-Dade County. A lot of folks were like, I am not going through this anymore. Here to Campbell Drive, 312th Street. So you saw the number back there for Palm Drive, it was 344th, and then you come up here, the 0th Street in Miami-Dade County is Flagler Street, named for Henry Flagler, who was the billionaire behind bringing the railroad down the eastern seaboard of Florida all the way down to Key West. And then on the north side, they go up to about 220th Street or something like that, before they hit Broward County. Left lane ends. Oh, super. Hampton Inn over there on the right. Uptown Suite. I've never heard of that brand. Hotel. Road Rangers, a free roadside service here on the Turnpike. Also named the Ronald Reagan Turnpike. Approaching 288th Street, Biscayne Drive. Homestead Air Reserve Base up here at the next exit. So back after Andrew came through in '92, they used to have Homestead Air Force Base here, but then they made the decision to close it, and there was a lot of hand-wringing and unhappy folks about that. So now it is just a reserve base used for training and things of that nature. But they have the Naval Air Station there in Key West in the event that Cuba ever wanted to do anything, because that was what everyone was worried about. What happens if Cuba launches something? And the other closest Air Force base is MacDill, which is in Tampa. And they assured everyone here in South Florida that they could have fighter jets down here in a matter of seconds. Sun pass only in this lane. So it looks like the clouds are definitely forming here at 1:40 in the afternoon. Not certain if they're going to turn into anything. Do not cross solid white lines. Nope. Oh, and here we go. Look what's in front of us. I used to do this back in the 90s. Well, there's a tag. There's a vehicle with no tag too. But right here, it's a roach coach. I used to do that here in South Florida, in Broward County, in Fort Lauderdale primarily. Sell food and drinks, and he's on the phone. And I made a pretty good living at it too for a little while. Approach Southwest 112th Avenue. Snapper Creek Service Plaza has a Shell Dunkin' Donuts and a Turnpike Service Center. Can't guarantee that you're going to get a competitive price at the Turnpike Service Center. Parks and Rec for the city of Miami. She's way out of her district. You can see some of those clouds in the distance there. They're growing the large tops to them, which is typical of thunderstorm formation and development. Those high cloud tops hit the upper layers of the atmosphere and hit really cold air. And all the hot air from ground races up, hits that cold air, and creates rain. And temperature outside right now reads 89 according to the car, so certainly nice and muggy out there. Again, welcome in. If you're just joining, we do all things Vegas as well as anywhere else we may wander here on the VegasDon channel. Click it or ticket, buckle up. So they have what they call a through lane there for the inside lane. I don't know what that means, but I didn't want to find myself stuck over there. Snapper Creek Service Plaza is in 8 miles. By plate, subject to administrative charges. And another toll gantry. Back in the day, of course, these used to be toll booths. Sun Pass is $1.16, toll by plate $1.45. So they really try to incentivize folks to purchase that Sun Pass. When I purchased mine back 20 years ago, it was like 30 bucks for it. I don't know what they're charging for it now. Back when I lived here, up until 2008 when I moved out of the area. Monkey Jungle ahead, and the South Dade Government Center. Before it was known as Miami-Dade County, it was known as Dade County. So you'll still see a lot of signage indicating Dade County. Quail Roost Drive and Coral Reef Drive exits approaching. So through lane, I guess that means you're not planning on getting off at an exit anytime soon, so you can sit in that inside lane. But you can't cross and come back over. I'm guessing that's what it is. Cutler Bay Town Center over here on the left. And these are the exits here for Quail Roost Drive and Coral Reef Drive. But the roadways are dry down here right now, so no rain has fallen here recently. Do not cross. Double white line. $165 minimum fine. But oftentimes you end up with a driver in front of you that's in that one lane does, 10 miles an hour below the speed limit. A lot of people like that, there's a lot of people out there that get in front of you and do below the speed limit, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna keep everyone safe. No, you're gonna make everyone mad. Yeah, they really need to do a better job with that whole slower traffic, keep right education. Traffic backed up there on the other side to Quail Roost Drive. Approaching 152nd Street and 117th Avenue here in Miami-Dade County. Snapper Creek Service Plaza, 3 1/4 mile. Zoo Miami, they used to call it Metro Zoo. It is now Zoo Miami. Here at exit 16, 152nd Street. Monroe County Shelter, used turnpike. So if you're coming up from the Keys and there's a hurricane coming, you have further to go if you are looking for shelter from the hurricane. A lot of people in the trailer parks, for instance, usually fall in that category. And in 1 mile, we're going to exit and go to State Road 874, also known as the Don Shula Expressway. Longtime Miami Dolphins coach, Don Shula. Actually, you do hear quite a lot of road noise out there on the highway in this car. Expressway. This road has always been a toll road for as long as I remember. Don't drive drowsy, arrive alive, it says overhead there. Toll schedule, 23 cents for Sun Pass, 46 cents for toll by plate. Speed limit of 60 here. Kendall campus up ahead here. Salt Life over on that Dodge Ram. Accident vehicles from travel lane. More Sun Pass toll gantries here. See the little lights flashing for the cameras. The state's got to make sure it gets its money. There's another little baby expressway in here, the 878. I've never taken it. Never really had a reason to take it. Looks like we're buffering. Stick with me, guys. Yeah, it goes over to US 1. And again, it's littered with red lights. US 1 is. Which is why the state gets away with being able to charge money for these expressways. They pack so many people in here and then tell people, all right, we're going to charge you to use the expressways. In the meantime, you developers, you go ahead and build a whole new housing development, or 7. If you're just joining, we're here on the Don Shula Expressway, South Miami, heading northbound towards Miami. On this Thursday afternoon, approaching 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to exit up here at the 826. Actually, we're just going to merge with the 826. The 874 runs in between the 826 and the Florida Turnpike, which are parallel here in South Miami. 47 cents for Sun Pass, 94 cents for toll by plate. Road here at 40th Street. now northbound on the Palmetto Expressway, also known as 826. It's sort of a beltway around Miami, but not really. It just goes north-south and then it curves east and west up in North Miami. But it is prone to frequent, substantial traffic jams. Plane taking off in the distance there from Miami International Airport. And this is US Highway 41. It travels from here in Miami all the way up to Michigan. And we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lanes here on the 826. State Road 826. So this is known as the Palmetto Expressway, and it'll junction with the Dolphin Expressway up here ahead. Can't get over there. There we go. Eddie's Lunch Service, another lunch truck there. That one's a dually. Lunch truck slash roach coach, as they're also known. Always an adventure driving in Miami. You definitely have to. You definitely want to get a rental car that has the ability to pay for your tolls, because to try and do the surface streets down here take you years. To try and do what we just did over on US 1. Now heading eastbound towards downtown Miami on the Dolphin Expressway, State Road 836. You see traffic over there on the other side backed up as it approaches the interchange with the 826. That's very typical. There is Miami International Airport directly in front of us. Off to the left. And so the roads here in Miami, a lot of them end in the number 7. You would think they do that in Vegas. Lucky number 7, right? The north-south roads, that is. 17th, 27th, 37th, 47th, etc. And you can see the city of Miami skyline coming into view here up ahead. Rental Car Center, Magic City Casino. I didn't know they had a casino down here now. But the Indians, they have a the Miccosukee Indian tribe probably is operating it. Winds are still out of the west, which is pretty unusual for South Florida. The planes are landing and taking off into the west. Now 2 p.m. here, East Coast. Look at that traffic going westbound. Yuck. And the shoulder here on the left is a bus lane only. ABC Miami Channel 18. ABC for a long, long time, decades, was Channel 10 here, but they have changed to Channel 18 now. Oh, that didn't work. And the big dome you see coming up into view here on the right up ahead, that is the home of the Miami Marlins baseball stadium. This is 27th Avenue, which is also University Drive in Broward County. You see all these condos that have been built, and they're continuing to build like crazy all over Miami. 17th Avenue Ballpark Health District, it says there. Do have a huge health district here with Jackson Memorial Hospital, part of University of Miami. This lane ends up here.